Hey guys, this is Helena. I'm here with Caroline Kingsbury. Hey, how are you doing? I know we were just talking about this a little bit off the recording, but I love the way that your closet looks as that background. It's so cool.
Yes, this is I was literally just telling you, but this is my drag closet.
hmm
So this is just all of the possibilities all in one closet. It makes me happy to like, if I'm doing an interview or something, to have this as the background because it feels like an extension of my soul.
Yeah, I love that. And then you were mentioning that they were also that there's a bunch of fan-made pieces.
Yes, so this is a fan-made piece right here, by Mr. Macrame, who brought this to me at my show in DC.
Wow.
With Pom Pom Squad I just played, and literally just like brought this to me. I mean, he had messaged me and like asked kind of like a vibe, and I didn't know he was actually gonna do it, but it's like a fully handmade like thing.
Wow, that's
And
so
then
cool.
I have this skirt, which was also a fan made
That's so pretty.
tutu, but
I love the
this is the
ruffles.
tutu from the Shock Treatment music video,
Oh,
which came
cool.
out, and I when we were like styling it, I pulled this out of my closet and it just like completed the whole look.
Yeah, I love
And then
that
I
look from
also
the
have
video.
this. A fan made me this. I forget their name, but maybe they'll see this and they'll remind me. But yeah, so many good things in my closet.
Yeah,
Bringing
oh
me
my goodness.
dopamine.
Yeah. Do you have any piece that you like really, really sticks with you that you absolutely have to bring on every perform or every tour?
Hmm. I mean,
It's not a super nice
yeah.
question, but I'm gonna ask it.
No, no, I'm thinking like I have worn this dress so many times. It's my mom's from the 80s,
Oh my
literally.
gosh.
And it's like a va-va-voom dress, but like
Mm,
80s vibes, you know?
yeah, I love the off the
I wore
shoulder.
this in the Breaking Apart music video.
Okay.
Um, and I've worn it in like a ton of shows and like promo stuff. I've done it so much now that I'm like taking a break, but I feel like I'm gonna wear it if I ever go to like an event or something. I need to wear it so that I can be
Yeah,
like, it's my mom's from the 80s.
absolutely.
You'd be
Especially
so
since the 80s are
excited.
so back, you know?
Hell yeah. No, and
Yeah.
they've been back for me, honey, for like since 2017 they've been back.
Perfect. You're the trendsetter.
Oh yeah, I'm a Leo, so I think everything revolves around me. Yeah.
Got you.
Totally was
Yeah.
all me.
So, my first question is more of a fun one, but what's your dream collab, alive or dead?
David Bowie,
David Bowie.
one of them. Another would be Katie Gavin of Muna.
Mm. Yeah. I think those speak for themselves, but
Yeah.
any reason that you would be able to describe why?
Yeah, I mean, David Bowie, I think I just feel very like spiritually connected to him, because of what he was doing at the time that he was doing it. It was very flamboyant, you
Mm.
know, but like rock and roll royalty.
Yeah.
That is that's like what I am interested in becoming, is like I'm not pandering to the industry. I am creating my own world and people are coming into my little worlds,
Mm.
and not like changing it to fit other people's
Yeah.
expectations. And then Katie Gavin of Muna, I love her songwriting and her voice, and I've met her a few times, and she literally just followed me the other day.
No way.
And we've met a few times, but every single time I meet her, I am like a fangirl.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping maybe the next time I meet her, we can I can be like, hello, and not like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you know? Because Muna was the first queer music that I conceptualized as like,
Mm.
oh fuck, this is gay. Like I was listening to this when I was straight, and then it basically made me more gay to know that, because like I was so in the closet.
Yeah.
I needed to see a proof of concept that like you could be openly queer and making heartbreakingly gorgeous, beautiful music because
Yeah.
we hadn't, at least in my world, which was very small because I grew up in Florida and then came to LA. And basically when I came to LA was when I found out about Muna in like 2017. They were the first queer music that I felt like I related to.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, cool. Thank you for sharing with that. I hope sharing me that. Thank you for sharing that. Jeez.
No, that's classic neurodivergence. I'm
Yeah.
right there with you.
Oh my gosh. You
Always
outed
happy to
me.
do so.
I'm undiagnosed, but health insurance man. But all my friends are like, "Oh yeah."
That was what was so crazy when I haven't been diagnosed by a psychiatrist, but I was diagnosed by my therapist. And
Mm.
then once I was diagnosed, my friends were like, "I thought you knew this." And I was like, "I am 29 years old. Please, for the love of God, just tell me that you
Yeah.
think I'm ADHD before I'm fucking 30 years old." And I'm not trying
Yeah.
to figure it out for myself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, so real.
I'm like, really, guys?
Yeah.
Thanks.
They're like, "You knew?"
I'm like, I did not know. I'm glad you guys are all in on it and
Yeah.
I wasn't in on it.
Yeah, it's like a kind of a this year thing that I'm like, yeah, I think I am. Yeah.
The like neurodivergence, we flock together. I
100%.
literally, I can tell you, like all of my close friends, we're all neurodivergent in some capacity.
Yep.
Like we all flock together.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that speaks for itself. If everybody you know is neurodivergent. Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
with being gay.
Yeah. What movie, TV, or book character do you relate with and why?
I think when I was growing up, I would have said Lizzie McGuire,
Oh yeah.
Hilary from Lizzie McGuire. She raised me.
Hmm.
She raised me.
What would you say now?
Now, now my like movie TV taste is like a literal like 59-year-old Republican man.
Yeah.
I love like those pseudoscience history channel shows like Ancient Aliens. I love treasure hunting shows. Basically like anything made for TV that involves history and treasure hunting. So I wouldn't say I really relate. It's just my hyperfixation. um, but no, I think like there is an author, Glennon Doyle. She is a writer. She also does a podcast. Like she's married to Abby Wambach, and she like came out later in life. Like I feel I relate to her a lot. I listen to her podcast like every week, and I've read all of her books because I grew up in the church. She grew up in the church. She's definitely neurodivergent, and she came out later in life, which I didn't come out later in life, but she just has such a good like way of connecting like mental health, spirituality,
Mm.
and current events that I just that's like my brain understands. And yeah, she's the I love her.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out some of her work.
Yeah, Glennon Doyle, you got to read Untamed. It's a really really good one.
Okay.
I
Write
read
that
a
down.
lot of like self-helpy type books, but this isn't it's not really self-help. It's just more like I in like the most positive way, unhinged, you know?
Mm.
Unhinged, what's going on?
Okay. Yeah, I don't read very many nonfiction books. I've been reading a lot of fiction, but that's kind of just where my fixation
Have
is.
you read, have you, okay, there is a book that I just like, I don't necessarily relate to it like as
Mm.
like a human being, but I guess I do because I really love this book. But okay, this book literally made me cry so hard. It's fiction.
Ooh,
Um,
I love the cover. I'm gonna write
it's
that down.
also, it's like cute and queer too.
Okay.
And there's all these different it's like kind of an ensemble cast of characters that are all so sweet and lovable, and it's The House on the Cerulean Sea.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
have to check
always
that out.
recommend that book. And then there's also a sequel too. Um, it's hands down one of my favorite books of all time.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll give you one of mine.
Yeah.
So I am
Write it
actually in
down.
the middle of read. Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of reading it right now, but it's called "Don't Let the Forest In" by
So,
C.J. Drews.
okay,
It's a
write it down.
fantasy.
Who I like.
Yeah, and the main characters are a writer and an artist, and their characters that they make together are coming to life, and they don't know why. It's a
Okay,
YA.
that sounds so cute. I
Yeah,
love cute books like that. That's like the
yeah.
vibe. This vibe is that's so the vibe. You need to look this book up, dude. Like
Okay.
you
Yeah, I wrote it down. But yeah, but it has a horror twist to it, so they're like monsters and stuff.
oh,
So yeah, yeah,
I love
it's been really good so far.
I feel like reading is so underrated as a mental health practice
I
and like
totally agree.
getting yourself to like sit and just focus on one thing and engage. That's one of my cats. It's underrated mental health. I'm just saying.
I totally agree, especially whenever like in today's society, whenever we're kind of just using up our time scrolling instead of activating our brains to things. It
Oh
really,
my
really helps.
yeah, like the scrolling, that is, I get so hooked sometimes and I hate it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why like I have to like do things with my hands. If I'm like, even if I'm watching a TV show, I'll find myself fucking scrolling. And so now I downloaded Subway Surfers on my phone. And if I start to feel like I want to scroll, I just play Subway Surfers and then move on. I try.
Yeah. Does that help?
It does. Like, I think like learning that I'm neurodivergent and understanding that I just have different needs as far as like how to keep my brain activated and engaged so that I don't get bored and then like do things that are not good for me.
Right.
Um, yeah, keeping your hands busy in
Yeah.
help.
Big, big, big thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
totally.
just like redirecting, but gently in a way.
Yeah, like your brain just wants dopamine, you
Yeah.
know, literally. And there's other ways to give yourself that, but like I've had to learn all this shit the hard way. Like
Mm.
I have been depressed and anxious. I've been on medication for years. I didn't even know I was neurodivergent until this year. Um,
Mm.
well, last year actually. But like it hasn't even been that long that I've known that I am, and just knowing that I am, even if I'm not on meds, has helped me be able to set myself up for success versus like always feeling like something's wrong with me, you
Mm.
know? Which is how I have felt my entire adult life because I struggle with executive function, like hardcore, you know?
Yeah.
And somehow I've still managed to make a music career, but like, damn, it's not been easy, you know? Especially because like it's a lot of computer time. It's a lot of like, you know, even when I'm recording myself, it's like I'm on the computer and it's like a lot of energy drain, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, but yeah, just knowing helps so much.
Yeah. Yeah. And then whenever you're feeling like your cup is empty, other than music, what do you usually to do to fill that cup again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big in bed person. I
Mm.
love being in my bed. So I like turning all the lights off in my room, whether it is daytime or nighttime. Candles. I get my little bed set up with I have my computer, I have my switch, I have a book, I have a journal, and I just kind of switch between those.
Mm.
But I have to be in the bed. Like that's
Okay.
how you know, it's
That's
like my
cool.
charging board.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of have that as well. Except it's
Yeah.
just like it's changed recently since we moved house, and it's just being outside for me and just like listening to things and
Being
not having anything
outside
to
is
be.
also a big one for me too.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's underrated.
It's so underrated. Just touching some grass is a big freaking deal.
Well, I just think there was this huge kind of capitalistic self-care push 5 years ago that was like, okay, bubble baths and face masks and like literally working out for 20 minutes a day and going outside. is
Yeah.
probably all I need to be okay, you know?
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, I think like the time that we're in right now, it's so tempting to give into despair on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I am I'm definitely feeling it, but I kind of going in and out of it. And when I come out of it, I'm like, man, I just need to touch grass, literally. Like
Yeah.
everything is, at least in this moment, okay. I'm okay. My family and my loved ones are okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like just I don't know. I don't need to go into like everything that's been going on, but I could go into like the whole how much we know with having everything at our hands and at our fingertips. Like it's just more than I think we were really equipped to handle. So that existential dread is very real, and being able to like
It's
separate yourself from that and just go outside is like so
it's
underrated.
so easy and it's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Highly recommend touching grass, everyone.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Yeah. Drink your water, eat your food, take a
Literally
shower.
so easy. It's
Yeah.
so easy, but it's also so hard.
Yeah. Well, um, were there any particular images, memories, or feelings that anchored your project for you creatively?
Yeah, I mean, this new project, Shock Treatment, I when I went into we started planning this project in November. I had this song Shock Treatment that I worked on with a songwriter that I got introduced to, and he showed me the concept in the song, and when I heard it, I was like, first of all, I usually write on everything that I do, and this is the one song that I've ever released that I did not write lyrics on. Um
Mm.
which is still a little hard for me mentally because I am such a fucking songwriter, but when I heard this song, it was like the project came to me. I was
Mm-hmm.
like literally shock treatment. We reverse conversion therapy, turning the straights gay or turning boring people into fun people or like but to just highlight the absurdity of a deeply like destructive horrible thing that is happening in our country, but at the same time, as a queer person who grew up in the church, evangelical, was homophobic, was transphobic until I was in college basically, because this is what I was taught, this is what I was around. um if I had seen this or experienced this at a younger age, like what I'm putting out now and like the video kind of concept behind it, which it would have resonated with me because I think we grow up in our like family systems, in our communities, and it really affects the way that we see the world. And shock treatment, it's not about conversion therapy. It's about letting yourself go and
Mm-hmm.
just express and outside of gender, outside of sexuality, outside of any of that, it's encouraging people to throw off the weight of the world's expectations of you so that you can become who you actually are, and that inspires other people to do that. And so the idea of shock treatment, I'm shocking people with my weirdo vibes and my, you know, my energy, my voice, my songs, my the way I dress, the way I do my makeup, to inspire other people to hopefully follow the things that make them happy and make them feel most like themselves. And in the current political climate that we're in, it's like so there's so much suppression and so much uh it's just like a second wave of hate, you know, that I don't think any of us really expected
Mm.
to this degree and this scale. So I feel like my job as an artist is to make music to help people free their minds and free their hearts and free their whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because you cannot rely on government systems. You cannot rely even on your own family system or your community. It's like you have to transform yourself from the inside out, and that will inspire other people to
Hmm.
do the same. It's not even about being gay or not. It's just it's freedom
Yeah.
to express.
Yeah.
And that's something I didn't have when I was growing up.
Hmm.
Not because my parents were like bad parents. Like I had great parents. I had a great childhood. But we were in a very conservative Christian environment, and like that's what I grew up in. And like I had some exposure to like the outside world, but not really. And I feel like music was always what made me feel most like myself, but it was just a stepping stone to really getting free of
Hmm.
the domineering systems that I grew up with. Yeah, if that makes sense. That if that answers your question at all.
Yeah, it totally did. And I love how
Yeah.
you answered that too, because especially with shock treatment in particular, I just watched the cult classic film just to like study up for this because I'm so
Yeah.
behind on film culture. I have not seen like most iconic films. So I'm trying to
Me
change
either,
that a
dude.
little bit.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I was just like I was really struck by how um you put a twist on that visually and on the whole
Yeah.
project visually. It was really cool the way that whole
For the
project was done.
audience that's
Hmm.
listening, I with when I heard the song Shock Treatment, I had never seen the Rocky Horror sequel Shock Treatment. And my creative director, we had the song already, and I was starting to like in my mind visualize what I wanted it to be. And I literally said to her, like Rocky Horror energy, like they go into the house and then they transform into these like,
Hmm.
and she was like, that's literally a movie. And I was like, what? We watched the movie and we were just taking notes the whole time and being like, oh, this is gonna be the world that we're gonna take inspiration from and bring it into 2025. Um, and yeah, if you've never seen that sequel, Shock Treatment, it's because it kind of flopped at the time. I love it. I think it's
Yeah.
crazy and kooky and weird. It definitely doesn't make any sense, but it also does, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the whole point of satire, you know? There's a bunch of it that just doesn't make sense, but it is kind of making an underlying statement, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean the theme of that movie is like they're trying to turn you into what the ideal version that they think is how you should be. That's
Hmm.
literally what is happening in our society right now in terms of like the suppression of trans people and queer people. Um they're trying to just tell us who we should be. That's exactly what this movie was. And now here we are in 2025 still experiencing it.
Hmm.
Um yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good movie though. You should watch it. And it also provides context to a lot of the choices that I made with the visuals and kind of the world that I'm building with Shock Treatment.
Yeah. And so this is an announcement to an entire EP. Do you have any ideas or any things that you want to share about like how that's going to go into the EP possibly? Because this is a self-titled single.
Yeah, so there's a full 5 song plus bonus track EP coming, and each song was very carefully chosen to give context and uh deeper meaning to this concept of shock treatment. And
Mm.
it's sort of like there's a song called Chocolate that I wrote like 4 years ago, which I had written about this perceived loss of innocence when I came out as queer,
Mm.
and how that affected some like family relationships. Um and like each song on the EP is like a little window into like the world, whereas Shock Treatment feels like you're in the world, and then each song is sort of like a zooming into the world and seeing like, oh, this song is like I wrote this song about, you know, my chocolate was about, my family bullshit. when I came out, which I lost like a lot of family when I came out,
Mm.
which
Sorry
is
to hear that.
that's a whole other thing. There's a song called Meteorite, which is about me basically like meeting my current girlfriend, but just sort of about like queer love in general. Um, there's a line in that. There's a line in it that I'm so proud of. Um, and it's like at the end of the song, like the whole song is about how like I met this girl and she was like a meteorite and she was like gone before I could catch her, you know.
Mm.
And the lyric I'm really proud of, it's like only a woman could break your heart and blow your mind all in one night. And like relating that to the meteorite and it's yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much. There's so many good things about this EP and I'm so excited about it. But each one is like a little glimpse into the world and the whole world won't make sense until the whole thing's out. It's like an 80s I literally went into the studio and I was like, we're making an 80s prom song about
Perfect.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I love
Which,
that
like,
so much.
context into my lore, like, my last EP was like, I'm an alien that crash landed on Earth because I got my heart broken on another planet. This is now the next level of that, which is I'm an alien living on this planet that got her heart broken on another planet. And now I'm the host of a TV show called Shock Treatment.
Wow.
So
There
it
you go.
goes,
That's cool. That's really, really cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you seem like you have this whole universe and this whole world figured out, and I would
I
love
know, which,
to
like, I
just like
don't talk about it as much because, like, I want people to like make their own, like take it for what it is and interpret it the way that they're gonna interpret it. But that's just how I kind of like conceptualize it all
mm,
and like seeing myself as like a character in this, while also writing like deeply personal things.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You seem kind of like the person that you would just like I don't know, I'm trying to word this in a way, but you're like you seem like a very hyper creative person, and every hyper creative person I know have very clear visuals for everything that they create, you know?
It's a world in my
Yeah.
mind
Mhm.
that I'm letting other people into. And I've never had like this audience size before. I mean, you saw me play like 3 years ago,
Mhm.
um, like opening for a small band, and there's, like I don't know how many people there, less than 50 people there. Um, and now I have like a really dedicated, amazing fan base that like actually cares. And it makes creating these things like feel so exciting because I know that other people will understand, even if it's
Yeah.
small, like I don't really care. Like I'm just so happy being where I am in my career because I literally get to like speak to my fans directly on a daily basis and it's not like this like separate kind of thing. It's great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That sounds so special, and I know a couple of other musicians that are about that size and they feel that same way where they're just like buzzers
Yeah.
with all their fans, and it sounds
Yeah.
so special. I'm glad you get
It's
to have that.
really special. Like, I mean, I know a lot of my fans who have been around for years. I will immediately recognize them at shows. I'll see them in
Mhm.
the crowd. I'll be like, oh! Yeah, that's like what's kind of cool about this like season with my career is that it's like it's small, but it's growing, and I'm getting to just like get to do it for my job, which is
Mm.
all I've ever wanted.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just so happy for you, and it seems like you've
Thank
just like
you.
I don't know if you like and when you were talking about that supposed loss of innocence, I don't know if you meant like any way of kind of just losing that sense of wonder in life, but it seems like you found that all over again, and I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, I mean, it took coming out and like kind of letting
Mm.
go of people and family that I had to let go of in order to find that again.
Mhm.
Uh, it's not easy. It's something I
Mhm.
fight for to try to maintain a sense
Yeah.
of wonder and a sense of like, I feel more connected to my child self now at 29 than I ever have.
That's
ever.
good. That's the
Yeah.
goal, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know
She would be
everybody
so,
says that there's like no real answer to the person like figuring out what happiness is, but I feel like that is, you know?
when you make your child self happy, there that's happiness
Yeah.
inside. You know, when you're able to be like, my child self would be so excited about this right now. It's like it's
Hmm.
still you. It's still inside of you.
Yeah.
Um, I think like the world can be so dark and hard, and like we can't live in that all the time. You know, it's just not healthy.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I try to do things for my child self to feel
Hmm.
happy, you know.
Yeah. What's something that you intentionally do, maybe like a tool or anything that you could use that maybe like anybody that's struggling with that could
Yeah.
use to just connect?
I think you have to just get really honest with yourself about what's not working in your life,
Mm.
you know, and be like, when I wake up in the morning, am I excited or am I dreading things or am I, you know, like which like mental health, oh, honey, I have been depressed and anxious. And so like I am up and down all the time. I'm not happy every day. I'm happy like probably 25% of the time, you know. I think that's like it's being happy isn't the goal. I think
Right.
it's like because I can't be happy all the time. Like that's my brain does not work like that. Um but I think you have to just get really honest with yourself about like what brings you joy and makes you feel more connected to yourself. And just taking really small steps to get there, you know.
Yeah.
Um not even like a huge thing. It's like when you wake up in the morning, you don't you don't have to be like an adult the way that in your mind it has to be. Like you could wake up and read your book for 30 minutes or color or do something that makes you happy versus like waking up and looking at your phone or like wake up
Yeah.
and you know
Yeah.
but I don't have the answers. I'm up and down all the time, you know. I'm anxious and depressed and ADHD. So I'm like happy sad and everything in between, but I think like what I have recently discovered is that when I take really small steps to just try to help myself feel better,
Mm-hmm.
it makes life easier, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, damn, we're all doing our best. You know, like
For
we're all
real.
doing our best right now. It is I think it's even hard to talk about how hard it is to exist in
Mm.
the United States, which I don't know, are you in the US?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard. And I want to give in to despair every single day,
Mm.
trying to actively choose to live.
Yep.
And you can't live in despair all the time,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're going through something like depression.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Still a part of it is a choice, to an extent, right?
At the end of the day, this was like, you know, I think as I've gotten older, I I have accepted the fact that at the end of your life, it is only going to be you.
Mm.
And like, you can't expect, you have to be able to show up for yourself the way that you wish other people would show up for you.
Mm.
And you have to have a relationship with yourself that's kind and loving because at the end of the day, it's just you in your body. There's not someone else there. You know, your friends and your family can't force you to be happy or live a good
Yeah.
life or live a life that feels fulfilling or satisfying. Um, and when you can transform, like that just goes back to like the shock treatment thing, which is like if you can
Mm.
transform your own heart, it will help other people's hearts transform and feel more free, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not perfect and it's not like you're gonna just wake up and feel happy every day because I definitely don't, you know? I'm up and
Yeah.
down, but like
Yeah. Same with other people too. Like you can't necessarily expect yourself to change and other people to change as well. You just have to
you
hope
have to
that
focus on yourself.
yeah, and you have to hope that you as a witness will help like impact them in a positive way to help them, you know, find their own happiness and be
Yeah.
loving and all those other things.
Feel good about life and feel good
Hmm.
about the way they look and the way they present and
Yeah.
sexuality and gender and all these things. It's all connected, you
Yeah,
know? It's all
for sure.
connected. Yeah.
For sure. And this is kind of related because we were just talking about happiness and finding your sense of wonder, but what does joy as resistance mean to you, and how do you try to channel that through your music?
Joy, they don't want us to feel joy because
Mm.
joy is freedom and they want to control us and tell us what is the correct way to live. And if we're joyful despite oppressive forces, it's the one thing they cannot take away from us. And it's an active choice. Once again, it's not something that you're going to just feel all the time. Um, you hear my cat?
Yeah.
I have three. I
You
have
have
three, and then
three?
my girlfriend is a dog, and so it's like my house is a literal zoo.
I love that. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of talk about representation, but your work feels like it goes beyond that. And how do you think artists can help build cultural futures in that way?
I think it's already happened and it's
Mm-hmm.
already happening. And it's something that is happening now in terms of representation. Like for me, Dochi is like someone we are going to look at in 20 years and be like, that changed some, you know?
Yeah.
She literally was like, I'm a queer Black woman in rap and I'm being successful and I'm out of the closet and I'm open about who I am. That
Yeah.
it's already happened and it's already happening. And you
Yeah.
can't stop. Culture has already changed. The
Mm-hmm.
wheel is already moving. And so I'm just doing what I think is best for me in my life. And that's being open and out of the closet and like I like representation to me, I think we're gonna hit a point where we're not even gonna use that word because
Yeah.
culture is changing and it's slow, but it's happening. And I've seen it over the last like 10 years. I started my career when I was like I officially started my career when I was like 18, but I have been playing music since I was like 13. From like 2017 to now, the the culture in music and in the industry is completely different. And I think the younger generations are just propelling this change because it's sort of just like normal for them now
Mm-hmm.
to see queer people in pop music. Whereas I'm like, this is so crazy, you know, because like I was told to hide my sexuality from when I first like started making music. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I feel like it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I say representation lightly because I feel like that word is used just so heavily, especially in interviews whenever you're talking about these kinds of things too, because it's like I don't know. I was going somewhere with that, but you can kind of get what I'm saying, right?
No, I know what you're saying for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Yeah. I try to say those things lightly because like I'd rather not I don't know, like make that whole subject of the interview like the representation. I want to be able to have you fill in those gaps, you know, like but
Right.
also yeah,
It's
I don't know. I feel
it's
like
a
I'm like
valid
missing the whole
no,
point,
it's a
but yeah.
valid question because I
Yeah.
mean we did see a huge shift from like the fact that Chapel Rowan was able to be an out queer person and have that level of success so quickly, it's a sign of things changing and Dochi as well and
Mhm.
other artists like labels are trying to sign queer people because it's like cool and popular. But like it's not going away. Like we're
No.
gonna it's just gonna become more normalized, even though we have this really oppressive force trying to force people down. I think like the next wave of representation is trans people in positions of
Mhm.
power in the music industry, which we do have some. Um, they're white though. So I'm like, we need a lot more representation, but it's happening. And I believe it's
Mhm.
happening, and that makes me feel excited for the future. as
Yeah.
much as things feel dark, I do feel a lot of hope just because of how much culture has changed in
Mm.
such a short amount of time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see and like look back 10 years from now and kind of just have a different view of it and understand like, oh, that's what was really happening. You know what I mean?
Well, anytime there's like a conservative push down, there's gonna be a push up of
Mm-hmm.
like, because when you push something down, somewhere else it's got to come up. And
Yeah.
like, I feel like that's kind of what's happening in music is this like wave of queer music coming in because there is such a push down
Mm.
of queer culture. So it's a renaissance. It's a queer music renaissance, baby. We're gonna look back and we're gonna be like, I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, going into your live performances, I know I saw you back in 2022. I definitely want to catch you again one of these
Yeah.
days. So hopefully one of those dates line up soon.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll meet you in person too.
Yeah.
But you're hitting some major stages this year, Lollapalooza, All Things Go, and then I mean I am a Seattleite at heart. I'm born and
Yeah.
raised around that area, so Capitol Hill Block Party. As soon as I saw you were on that lineup, I was just like so excited for you.
That was like the first festival that I got word that I was playing before Lala and before All Things Go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was like the one I asked my agent. I was like, I want to play it because it's so gay over like that whole area is literally like the gay part of Seattle. I just played a show at a venue that's like right there. Um
Numos?
Numos, but it was the downstairs one.
Oh, Barboza, right?
Yes, I
Yes.
just played Barboza and they were like, yeah, this is where Capitol Hill Block Party is. It's like the gayest neighborhood ever, and I'm so excited. Like,
Mm.
so excited. And then I found out I was playing Lala, and then my mind just
Yeah.
I did not expect that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I am a good performer, and so I do deserve these opportunities. But it's
Mm-hmm.
also still I'm scared a little bit, but I
Okay.
know I can do it. It's just like
You could definitely do it. I believe in
I
you, and
know,
also
like
like I know you believe in you, and I know you definitely didn't even need me to say it, but I'm
I'm
so
like,
excited for you.
but it's scary. It's like my first. I've never even
Mm-hmm.
been to a festival. Like I've
Really?
never even been to a big festival. No, like
Oh
I'd
my
say
gosh.
that I've been to South by Southwest. That in
Okay.
like 10 years ago. Other
Okay.
than that,
Oh
it's
my
this is gonna be such a crazy experience. But I'm
god.
fucking
Yeah.
ready. You know.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to have your first festival experience and it being Lala too. Oh my goodness.
But I just think festivals are I festivals are the coolest shit ever, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
excited to get to do it. You know.
Yeah.
I
I'm
just
so
yeah
excited for
can't
you.
believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Lala would be a dream. So I guess if I ever chat with you again or meet you in person, I'm gonna ask you how that went because I'm
Yeah.
excited for you. It's gonna be
Yeah,
so
thank
cool.
you. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I'm gonna debut playing Shock Treatment live at the festivals this summer.
Heck yeah.
It'll be
Well,
fun.
I'm excited to see what the audience thinks of it too.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
Yeah.
really
Is there anything else that you're really excited about for like any of these shows?
well. I also have a headlining tour I'm doing in September.
Oh,
Co-headlining tour with another artist.
okay.
That we're gonna literally be announcing I think like first week of June. So it's coming out really soon. I've never done a headlining tour, and it's gonna be in September. I'm really excited about that too. Um,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, I mean, going to kind of wrap up, what do you want somebody to feel after leaving a Caroline Kingsbury show in 2025?
I want to feel like they saw something that they couldn't take their eyes off of, and
Mm,
that it made them forget the world for a little bit, and that I can provide them a place where we can explore uh weird, fun, fanatical things together live,
mm,
but also, I don't know, maybe feel like a little hope,
mm.
you know,
Yeah,
that everything will be okay. That's how music makes me feel after I play a show. I'm like, man, that's so fun. It makes me feel
yeah.
like it's gonna be okay, you know? if I can do that, then I've done my job, you know?
Hmm. Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. And I was just thinking about like your performance that I saw and I was just remembering it. I was really just like absolutely blown away by your energy. So,
I was just playing with a drummer too, which
yeah.
yeah, that that means a lot to me that you say that, because like
Yeah.
that was like a really weird time in my life, but like I'm so glad I did that tour. I love the Arlie guys so much.
Hmm.
Like it was special. It
Yeah,
was
Arlie was really cool and I went to see Arlie, but then I saw you and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you could be a star. Oh my gosh." So seeing your recent success has just been so cool and I'm really happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share? And like maybe how can we support you as you just
Yeah, well, I
forward?
just put out Shock Treatment, which is the first single of the Shock Treatment EP, and we just put out a music video. So just go check all that out. And we're gonna have a lot more music this year. I'm playing Lala, I'm playing All Things Go, Capitol Hill Block Party. Also a headlining tour in the fall. So
Hmm.
let's hang out.
Yeah. Cool. Hope to catch you. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where you go. Very excited
Thank
for you.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
I
think
just
you
want to
got
play.
something special.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me. It was so nice to meet you.
Yeah, so nice to meet you as well.
Okay, have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.